So this is how it sounds without any mixing.
Did I just see something in your eyes? Like a little look of surprise? Was there a start of a smile that's had its heart called away?
And this is how it sounds after
Did
mixing.
you just read something on my face? In the spirals that I traced by those particles of grace passing through the clouds of my soul. Would that I shine like crystal clear, like an undistorted mirror.
So this is how the bass sounds without any plugin. With the parametric EQ. And sound goodizer. Moving ahead, we have got two congas. First panned to the left, the other to the right. First listen to the left one, how it sounds without any plugin. This is the parametric EQ. And this is the saturation, adding the warmth, and this limiter. And the reverb is on the right. Now move on to the congas on the right. With the EQ, the congas on the right sounds like this. With the EQ, with the blurred overdrive saturation, and the reverb on the left, both together. Moving ahead, this cymbal panned on the left without any EQ, it sounds like this. With the EQ, I think this boost which is not required actually, anyway. And with the reverb, it sounds like this. Let's move to the shakers. The shakers which is panned to the right without any EQ sounds like. With this EQ, with the overdrive which is saturation, and the reverb, both these together. Now let's move on to the guitars. Okay, so we have got this guitar panned to the left, and this is how it sounds without any plugin. This is the EQ. Let's increase the volume. Without the EQ. Without EQ. With EQ. Saturation. And the compressor. Without all of them. With them. Let's add the reverb. Back to the previous volume. Let's move to the guitar on the right. So this is how this guitar sounds, which is panned to the right. Now with the EQ, and the saturation, and with the reverb. Back to the previous volume level. Both of these guitar together. Now let's move on to the third guitar. So I've got this another guitar which is panned on the right, and it sounds like this without any EQ. Increase the volume of the EQ, saturation, the compressor, and the reverb. In order to get the reverb on both sides, I have used this way that this signal is getting fed to this reverb which is on the left, and now the same signal is fed into the reverb right by this Fruity Send. So I've got the reverb of this guitar on both ends, this on left and right. This is how it sounds now. Let's get it back to the previous level, volume level. I think it was here. Let's move on to the piano, and this is the only piano sound that the song has without the EQ. With EQ, and this is without the reverb. With the reverb, it sounds like this. Actually, I should have added some saturation here also, but I didn't. Without the EQ and reverb, it sounds like this. With EQ and with the reverb. Back to the previous volume. Let's move on to the flute section. So in the flute section, we have got two flutes. First is panned a little to the left, the other to the right. This is how it sounds without any plugin. EQ and saturation. Let's increase the volume a little bit. After the reverb on the both sides, without the EQ and the saturation, with the EQ and saturation. Let's get it back to the previous volume level. Now let's move on to the other flute. This flute sounds like this without any plugin. This is the EQ. This is the saturator and the reverb. Both flutes together. Now let's get to the main lead vocals. Okay, so in the lead vocals, this is how it sounds without any plugins. Let me increase the volume.
Like a little look of surprise.
With the
Was there
EQ,
a start of a smile that's had its heart called away?
with the saturation,
Did you just read something on my face? In the spirals that
again
I traced
a parametric EQ
by those particles
to get some
of grace,
airiness in the vocals,
passing
this high
through
end.
the clouds of my
Without it,
soul.
With it.
Would that I shine like crystal clear,
And then I have sent
like an undistorted
the signal which has these three effects into the other track where I have compressed the vocal heavily. I'll show you how it sounds. First, Listen to it.
distorted mirror, but I'm
The overdrive,
broken
one more time,
down,
and this fruity
I
limiter
feel,
as
and I know
compressor.
that's so. Yes, I know that's so hard
I use this limiter as a
for
compressor.
you to see. Did I just see something in your
Let's get it back to the
eyes?
previous vocal level.
Like a little look of
And this is
surprise. Was there a
this is how this compressed vocal sound.
its heart
It is heavily
cold
compressed.
away?
This is the
Did
settings
you
for it.
just read something on my face?
I
In
have
the
used this compressed
spirals
vocal
that I
just a little
traced,
bit under the main vocal. This much.
passing through the clouds, so
These
clear,
plugins applied
distorted
on this vocal.
for
So this
you
signal is being
to
fed into this
see.
wider,
Did I just see
but I have just
something in your
used this much only.
eyes?
And this
Like a
delay
little look of surprise. Was there a
and this reverb
start
on
of
the
a
both end,
smile
first on the left
that
and on
set
the
its
left.
heart cold away?
This
Did you just
convolver,
read
which is a
something
hall
on
reverb.
my face? In the spirals that I traced
Without these
by
reverbs,
those particles of grace,
with these reverbs
passing through the clouds
and
of
this
my
hall reverb,
soul. Would that I shine like crystal clear,
just this
like
much
an
is my setting for vocals.
undistorted mirror,
Let's get it back to the
but
previous
I'm
level.
broken down,
Now everything together.
I fear, and I know that's so. Yes, I know that's so hard for you to see.
This is how I mix this song.
Don't let go.
Okay, so in the masters, let's turn on all these two plugins.
Walk me to some sweet and holy land. All the
Sounds good.
roads and wisteria.
Okay, so in the masters, what I have used is this mid-side settings. This is my mono signal. This is how the song sounds in mono.
Little look of surprise.
Sounds good even in
Was there
mono.
a start of a smile?
This is the stereo sound. Both of it together.
Did you just read something on my face? In the spirals
Only mono
that I traced by those particles
Together.
of grace, passing through the clouds.
And I haven't done any frequency attenuation or boosting here in the mono as well as in the stereo. Only this much of cut which is required. This is the maximus setting just to master the song.
Of my soul,
This is how I treated the low section, which is bass. Actually there is only bass guitar, no kicks, just the congas. And this is the mids of the song.
cry, I fear, and I
The highs, everything together.
yes, I know that's so hard for you to see.
It sounds good. I think I've changed a little bit of volume levels as I was showing you the plugins applied. A little bit of volume. I've changed the volume level. Anyway, changing is not too much. I think the sound sounds good.
Did I just see something in your eyes?
The shaker is too heavy. Let's bring it down.
Did I just see something in your eyes? Like a little look of surprise.
Okay, so that is how I mix this song. Hope you like it. If you have something about this mix, you can mention that in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thanking CambridgeMT.com for the stem files and James May for this beautiful song. Thank you so much. I have more of these mixing sessions on my YouTube channel. Just have a look at them. You will also like them. Thank you so much. Keep learning, enjoy practicing. This is me signing off. Goodbye.